Madness, and I want to talk about this year's WrestleMania, aka the big scam fest. A waste of almost $75. I'm gonna start bitching after the intro.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to drown myself. You can try this at home.
By now you know I'm pissed about this year's WrestleMania and what it had to offer. And it had shit to offer. I just threw in $75 of my money that I could have used to save up for a new phone, but instead I put it in Vince's wallet. No wonder the WWE is like this. Anyway, the first match we have is Bryan Danielson versus Sheamus, or so I thought when I realized it was a dark match. And to make things better, Sheamus didn't show up, making it seem that Danielson competing at WrestleMania was going to draw in some indie fans, but really was just a scam to draw in indie fans. And instead, we got a battle royal in which Great Khali won. And also, Bryan Danielson got buried. Next, we had Kerry Hilson sing America the Beautiful. And we have our first match, Edge versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship, in which we had no champion, no Christian heel turn, no triple threat, no nothing. All we had was Edge giving a spear and ending it like that, then proceeded to destroy Del Rio's car, in which Alberto Del Rio, just like Bryan Danielson, got buried. Next we had Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes, where Rey dressed as Captain America, just like he dressed like the Joker in 2009, which was alright, which was back and forth all night. And Michael Cole made it a little interesting, as much as I hate to admit it. He kind of did. We even had Rey Mysterio taking off Cody's mask and wearing it, just using it to his advantage. We also had Cody trying to take off Rey's knee brace, in which he proceeds. There we have times where I even thought Rey would win. But the match ended with Cody hitting Rey with one of his knee braces, then delivering the crossroads and winning the match. At least Cody Rhodes doesn't get buried. Next, we had a fucking stupid segment of American Idol with Teddy Long, Snoop Dogg, fucking Hornswoggle, fucking Zack Ryder, fucking Rebecca Black, you know, all that stupid shit WWE shoves down our throats every week. So, WWE doesn't have time to make a Danielson versus Sheamus match, but we sure have a lot of time for this shit. Next we have the four-way between the Core, Santino, Kozlov, Big Show, and Kane. Soon it's revealed Kozlov won't be at WrestleMania. Just great. Just get rid of Santino and it'll be better for us, trust me. Instead, we have Kofi replacing Kozlov, and the match is immediately over. So not Danielson and Del Rio, but the entire Core gets buried. What the fuck? Then we have a segment involving Rock and Eve. Soon Mae Young is a part of it. Then Stone Cold comes out and the world comes to an end. I'm just kidding. Soon we have CM Punk versus Randy Orton. Okay, match, I guess. We have back and forth action as Punk works on the leg. Then he puts him into the Anaconda Vice grip, which I haven't seen from him for a while. He delivers a GTS, and Randy Orton, of course, fights out of it. Orton goes for the RKO, but Punk takes him down for a 2 count. They end up on top. Orton goes for a superplex. Orton hits a long suplex on Punk from the top, covers him for a 2 count. Punk takes control again. Orton wraps his legs around the ring post from the outside. Punk applies the figure 4. Orton screams. Back in the ring, Punk continues focusing on the leg. Orton tries to fight out of it. Another 2 count. A submission pin. What more do you want? Orton leaps on Punk with right hands and hits a suplex. They get up. Punk starts kicking Orton. Punk sweeps Orton and applies the anaconda vice out of nowhere. They end up on the apron. Orton throws Punk into the exposed ring post, then gets him into the ring with the second rope DDT. Orton hits the mat and gets pumped, as in he spazzes out in Punk's face. Orton readies for a punt kick, but his leg goes out as he runs at Punk. Orton falls to the mat, clutching his leg as Punk taunts. They get up. Orton goes for an RKO. Out of nowhere, Punk slides. Punk goes up the top rope and leaps up at Orton. Orton gets up, catches up him with an RKO in midair for the pin, and wins. What, you expected something else? I knew as Punk jumped, Orton would do that. Then Orton showing off his no-selling ability, easily climbing on the ropes, doing the Orton pose, in which not only Danielson or Del Rio, or even just Decor, but CM Punk as well gets buried. Next we have more pointless garbage with Rock, Cena, Mean Gene, and Pee-wee. Finally, the match I really wanted to see, Cole versus Lawler. I finally get to see Cole get what he deserves. JR and Booker T are doing commentary, which is even better. We see Cole dressed in orange, which makes sense if you know what I'm talking about. We have Cole botching his wrestling on King. He dominates the whole match until King gets momentum at the last second. Swagger throws in the towel. Stone Cold throws it back and stuns Swagger. Cole badmouths Stone Cold, then pushes him to Lawler, where he proceeds to beat him up a little, then gets him to a submission in which Cole taps like a bitch until Stone Cold calls for the bell. They celebrate. Booker T becomes part of the celebration, does a spinneroni, then gets stunner. So Austin can stun Swagger, even Booker T, but not Cole? What? Then the anonymous Raw GM announces that Stone Cold interfered and Cole wins by DQ. Soon, Josh Matthews, who announced this, gets his ass kicked for doing so. So Austin can stun a poor innocent messenger, Booker T and Jack Swagger, but not fucking Cole? And Cole didn't even get a proper ass kicking. And we had to hear him gloat the next night. Gosh. This is what really pissed me off, and I felt like I got fucking scammed out of my $75, which I could have used to buy me a new useful phone. Damn it. Next we have Triple H versus The Undertaker in a match I can care less for. Good match, but it doesn't hold a candle to their last meeting 10 years ago. JR and King do commentary from that point on. They go right at trading shots. Triple H gets the upper hand and takes it to the corner, but Taker knocks him out of the ring. They fight on the floor, and Triple H goes down. Taker starts taking the announce table apart. He runs around, and Triple H rams him into the coal mine, and it's destroyed. Triple H comes back in the ring as Taker sits up from the remains of the coal mine. Taker comes in and fires away with right hands. Triple H with a big forearm off the ropes. Taker with big shoulders. Now to Triple H. Taker goes to the top rope for the old school drop, but Triple H pulls him down to the mat. Triple H clotheslines The Undertaker to the floor now. Triple H launches Taker hard into the fan barrier outside the ring. Triple H starts taking Cole and Lawler's table apart, then slams Undertaker into it. Triple H climbs up top, goes for the pedigree, but Undertaker stops it and goes for the choke slam. Triple H counters that, but Taker drops him from the announce table to the floor. Triple H lands hard. Taker goes back in the ring as Triple H is out on the floor still. Taker runs the ropes and flies over the top rope and lands on Triple H head first, just like he did Shawn Michaels. A holy shit chant breaks out in the crowd. Taker drops Triple H on the steel steps and brings him up. Taker goes for his tombstone and steps out, but Triple H counters with a headbutt. Taker runs at Triple H out the steps, but Triple H counters and slams Taker from the steps through the announcer table with a huge spine buster. Taker looks to be in serious pain. Triple H brings Taker back in the ring. Taker grabs Triple H out of nowhere and chokeslams him for a close 2 count. Taker with hands now. This is a slow-paced match. Seriously, it is. Taker grabs Triple H, but gets pushed back into the corner. Triple H with shoulders thrust now. Dueling chants for the 2 now. Triple H mounts Undertaker with rights in the corner. Taker brings them out and drops them on the mat. The exchange counters. Triple H hits a big spine buster for a 2 count. Triple H brings a steel chair in, but Taker boots it into his face. Taker cracks Triple H in the back with a chair. He goes for another, but Triple H blocks and nails a pedigree. Taker kicks out at 2. Triple H comes back. Taker comes up, counters, and nails the last ride for a close 2 count. Can this match get any more boring? Anyway, Taker cuts his own throat now, and all the crowd pops, of course. Taker picks up Triple H for a tombstone, nails it, but kicks out, and Undertaker's throwing a fit. Taker throws the chair down in front of Triple H, picks it up again, goes for a tombstone on the chair, but Triple H slides out of it. DDT's Undertaker on the chair. Both men are down as the crowd cheers for both of them to get up. They both get to their feet using ropes for help. Triple H strikes first and hits a pedigree, but only gets a 2 count. Triple H goes for another pedigree and hits, but it's botched just a bit. Triple H gets up, grabs a chair again, hits hard with it, and Triple H yells at The Undertaker to stand up, but keeps hitting him back with the chair. A lot of times Triple H falls from swinging the chair. Triple H yells at The Undertaker to stay down as many times as he can. Triple H readies for another chair shot as Undertaker gets up. This time Triple H cracks The Undertaker in the head with the chair as he goes down. Triple H looks on. Taker still tries to get up. Triple H yells at The Undertaker to stay down again and just die. Triple H asks what is wrong with Taker. Taker grabs him by the throat. Triple H shakes his head and lets Undertaker stand up, but he can barely stand. Undertaker is ready for a fight. Triple H cuts his throat now. Taker charges barely, but Triple H counters and scoops Undertaker for a tombstone. Triple H nails the tombstone and folds Taker's arms, but kicks out at 2. This shocks Triple H. It also shocks me as well. But of course, the streak will never die, because it's all that's keeping Undertaker going. Triple H goes under the ring and brings his sledgehammer into the mix. He drags Undertaker by his leg into the center of the ring. Undertaker out of nowhere applies the go-go plata on Triple H, causing him to drop the sledgehammer. Triple H tries to counter the hold, but he can't. Finally finds the sledgehammer, picks it up, but drops it again, taps out, and Undertaker wins. They're both laid out. The big 19-0 flashes. Triple H bleeds from his face, sits up, then leaves. The referee calls for help on The Undertaker. Undertaker goes in a stretcher, crowd applause, and that stuff. I can really care less these days. Next we have another pointless match between Late Cool and Ziggler against Morrison and Trish and Snooki. All I did during the match was go to the kitchen and get me another slice of pizza and a cold one. Match ends with Snooki doing a handspring, kind of impressive, and the match ends. Next we have the WWE title belt on the line between Miz and Cena. They both get big overrated entrances, with Cena sporting his new red shirt, hat, and armband, because let's face it, purple is so out this month. Yeah. Anyway, the match is pointless. Ends in a countout, then Rock comes in, announcing it to be a no DQ match after owning the Raw GM. Rock bottoms Cena, and Miz retains. Rock finishes him, and the match ends. So does this waste of $75 as well. Next night, Cena and Rock shake on it, in which he gets a lot of well-deserved heat from the crowd, and announces that next year's WrestleMania it'll be Rock Cena in a dream match. But really, just a scam to get us all pumped for nothing. Tell me what you think. Honestly, I thought this year's WrestleMania was nothing more than a waste of my time and money. So yeah.